everybody. And I think people have heard us talk before about Work Camp New England. It's a 501c3 nonprofit group. They're a national group. They come in and they work on people's homes who own their own homes, who are in financial distress, who aren't able to afford to work on their own homes, and they come in and they paint and they roof and they do flooring, they do wheelchair ramps, they do all sorts of really terrific things to help families stay in their own homes. We've been recruiting for the past 8 months. One of our interns, Lindsay Kidder, has been putting together trainings and workshops to sort of tell people about Work Camp New England. So we're actively recruiting families, anybody. We have people who are ed techs in the Sanford school system, which is a sad state of affairs about our Sanford school budget. But we have all sorts of folks who owe a lot of older people who aren't able to afford repairs on their own homes to be able to stay in them. So we're collecting these names. I will put out an email with Joanne on the minute so everybody can get the link for that. They're coming this summer. They're going to be staying at Sanford Junior High School. They'll be here for 2 weeks. There'll be about 150 kids that are flying in from all over the United States. We're also trying to get kids that are interested here in Sanford. We're going to be having a couple of Sanford families involved also. So if you know anyone that owns their own home, contact myself or Lindsay Kidder, and Joanne will send out the email. They'll be here for 2 weeks to work during the summer. They'll be coming in with trained carpenters, electricians. They come in with their own school nurse. They're a completely self-contained group. They work from 8 in the morning till about 4 in the afternoon, and they go back to the junior high school. They have I call it a hoot but that's just dating me. They have a lot of fun with really loud music and scream and dance, and they just have a ball. They are a Christian-based group. They don't proselytize or evangelize while they're working in the community, but when they're in the privacy of the school, they do have a worship service in the evening, which everybody's invited to. But it's all free, no cost to Sanford residents. So if you know of anybody, and it can be a relative, a friend, whomever, contact us, and we'll send out the link, and I'll send out the YouTube link with it also. Thank you. Go JMG.
All right. Well, we can stand up.
We'll stand up.
Hi, I'm Ben. I'm in the 8th grade. And Ben, I'm in the 11th grade.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, I'm Brittany. I'm in the 8th grade.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi, I'm Megan Carlisle. I'm in the 8th grade.
Hi, Megan.
I'm Madison Henderson and I'm in the 7th grade.
Hi,
I'm
Madison.
Megan Severance and I'm in 8th grade. I'm Ashley Bennett.
Hi, Ashley. Welcome.
We're here to talk to you about our Sanford Strong Festival of 2015.
Okay, so JMG works with students to guide them into successful paths towards continued education, a meaningful career, and a productive adulthood. JMG currently serves over 5,000 students in the state of Maine, in grades 6 through 12. In Sanford, 2 specialists serve students in grades 7 through 12. Unfortunately, due to budget cuts, the JMG program may be cut down to 1 specialist next year to only serve the 8th and 9th grade.
Ooh.
Definitely.
Over 90% of students in JMG graduate within 4 years. 96% of students in JMG do not drop out of school, and 85% of JMG students are employed in the military or pursue post-secondary education immediately following graduation.
I'm kind of sad that for the Sanford High School as a whole, that statistic is 53%.
Yeah, GMG is
So,
most of the high
right,
schools.
so we're at 86% with this group, 53% for the population as a whole.
And the kids that we have in GMG are sometimes the ones that are most likely to drop out.
Things about ourselves, we have a group that are grades, attendance, and parties on the program.
For our school, we organized and ran the very first Big Famous Dance. We organized and ran a talent show every year to give all students a chance to showcase their talents. We also give cash prizes. We are positive role models for our peers. We volunteer to help with anything that is needed, like running food drives, working in the food pantry, and clothing closet. Every year we award a grant of at least $1,000 to local nonprofits. This year and last year the grants totaled $3,000. Volunteer in our community. Over the last 3 years, we have volunteered for 2,000 hours of the program. We organize and run community events like we have to do with children's around the state. We promote a positive image of Sanford and encourage to make it a better place to live.
We're gonna do a little activities. What are some of the things that you guys really like about Sanford? Wait,
Oh, do you need the whiteboard?
Yeah, we need
Okay.
it.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you could probably write right on there.
Yeah, I still want to. I'll just turn the monitor.
I love this part.
We did this activity.
I like the Maxway Trail system.
This is an activity we did with all the students actually, and they liked it so much that it's a lot of feedback.
We're gonna do things like you do like and things that you don't like, right?
No, don't like. We're gonna say
Be nice and loud.
I really like the Sanford youth here. You know, these guys up here? All of them, they have, you know, have all great attributes. What what's the other thing? Like, to improve, how do I say it? The drug use in town. So, I would say more education about drug use or intervention.
And did you get Becky's trails?
Do you want me to give you some things we really like about Sanford? The people. Things we need to improve? The people.
The person that hit my back tire this past summer when I moved here was riding on Main Street and there was nobody there. I go and I'm riding my bike across the street, the light is red, and I go and somebody hits my back tire and I go sailing. They didn't even stop.
Oh, that's not okay.
I'd like to improve the trash on the side of the street.
I have a great program for that.
So Sanford is a great animal town. They built their own dog park, Rock on Sanford. Sanford also has the highest surrender rate of animals in York County, so I'd like to fix that.
So she likes the dog park, she'd like to improve the surrender rate of pets.
Thank you, Ms. Gold.
Sum it up.
You must be a teacher.
Maybe a little bit.
surrendering, right?
Yeah, he was getting it.
The lakes and ponds, that's what I like.
Me too.
That's beautiful.
I like that we're known for raising a lot of food for the school challenge and the food pantries.
We won by a lot. We won
I like
that
the
last
youth
year's
programs like the,
Spirit challenge this year.
I'm sorry.
How much?
Oh no, I was saying we won that spirit challenge by a lot.
How much?
That's
did we give
statewide,
last
Channel
year?
6.
Yeah.
I like the youth sports programs, like the wrestling program that's going on after school now, as in NAFON.
Yes.
And also the Sanford soccer program.
Anybody else?
I dislike the perception people have of this town.
The representation.
Yes.
That's what I dislike.
A lot of kids would agree with you.
Oh, I like the farmer's market too.
I like the opportunities that I have here because where I used to live, I wouldn't have had any of this. I wouldn't have been, because I used to live in a very, very dangerous town. It had a very big drug problem for a town of under 7,000 people. so like coming here and being able to be a part of the coalition and like the Strategies Youth Council and being able to be here and like film and stuff, it's a really big.
I would agree with that. I think there's a lot of opportunity here, but I think the thing I don't like is that nobody's supposed to see that.
Listening girls? That's so true.
Yeah.
I like this coalition. I think it's a great thing, bringing community members together.
Is your hand tired, Megan?
Oh, yeah.
There's lots to like.
Not the spelling test.
She's so cute.
Oh, it's on the wall.
Whatever.
You get the
point. That's a hard word.
It's so small they can't see it anyway.
I had to know from my mom.
I like Sanford Vision, the vision for our school. When the kids do it as a program too, because we do this as a JMG program, we do end up with a longer list on the things we like side. So the kids really, and the reputation always comes up, like, because it's not, all of Sanford isn't like how people say it is, you know. Some people haven't even come to Sanford and they like to say that. Our kids go on a lot of state trips, in other words, there's kids from all over the state going. So as soon as they hear from Sanford, sometimes they make a comment once in a while, right? Although it's been better the past couple of years, but because Sanford tends to kick their butt in any competition that happens, so they stop talking. But
One's ever competition.
well, you guys, I'd be with you. You guys, we did really well at the lead, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But the overnight earlier in the year, we got first and second place. So these kids work really well together, but they also give Sanford a very positive image by the way they act there, because they expect Sanford to act in a certain way, I guess, and they just don't act that way. So it looks good on us. It looks good on Sanford.
I'd like to improve the school budget so they don't cut.
But that's the key. Well, you'll get me off on a tangent, but they did get an increase this year. That's the thing. 1.2 million? Yeah. And there's a reason behind that as well, but that will send me off on a tangent.
The film festival. Coming up in May.
Yes.
We might
Film
do
Club
that.
really good is working on submissions into the film club.
Cool.
Like I just finished the script that I wrote for my ELO, and we're going to be shooting that soon, hopefully entering it into the film portion.
Cool.
Go, girl.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'd like to improve, get more businesses.
Ben, put your mouth. So one of the really cool things about this town is that every year, more and more and more, we do more things together with the community and the kids. Like you guys, y'all are in the junior high school, we're doing the excursions. Last year we did the Blue Sky activity with Above the Influence campaign. We have this.
We did with the whole school.
Yep, with the Winter Carnival. We did. We just did a bunch of stuff, and so that was. I just think I love working with kids in the school. And you guys are awesome, and I'd like to keep doing more of that. So more school projects, more school community projects.
Anybody else? Okay, so what do you picture Sanford looking like in 10 years? Just think, don't say it yet.
Don't say it. That's Maddie's too. And Ben, can you be the directions while she's passing it around? Or Logan be the directions. Mason money. Maybe at ours, I don't know. We're going to get loud.
So we're going to be making clouds representing our dream for Sanford. Like, okay, this is just a rough sketch. So, okay, well, I have like
anyone needs
markers
markers.
that need college, and I guess it's like fall apart. that you want Sanford to look like in 10 years.
Anyone else see more?
Sure. Awesome.
So what do you want Sanford to look like in 10 years? Like, what would you picture walking down the street?
Which side are we going for?
Everybody.
Are we ready?
Yes. Yes.
We would like for you guys to share notes. We're gonna go in a row. Or would you like to show your
Show me loud and share.
It's a beautiful picture. You can almost tell what it is, but everything's labeled. So it's basically, it shows a nice downtown with a park, and it shows nice bike trails going all the way, going through the town, and people utilizing our lakes and ponds. It's really a sad little picture. The idea is good, but the drawing is horrible.
Awesome. And then someone else can take hers and while she talks about it.
While I talk about it?
Yeah.
Maybe I talk about it. Sanford goes green.
Yeah.
Solar and hydro and wind and composting.
Go Donna.
And everyone recycles.
Are you guys? You guys, that's a dumb
Hey, Megan, you can't keep changing yours.
First, before you pick it up, let me get.
Just add to it.
Yeah, by the end, she
Can I?
What's yours?
Mine is a picture of the new high school, and it says, "New high school, no drugs."
Hallelujah. Look at that. Bring it on.
For my geometry ELO, they're actually, the ELO coordinator's trying to get me in to work with the architects of the new school for my geometry, so.
I have to remember what's on mine. So busy. I have the new schools. I have a bustling downtown area, drug-free, a spurt in population growth with new families. I have parks and gardens with grow food, not lawns, and I think that's all I have.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Some of us are getting re-traumatized from our high school experience.
I took a different point of view. Mine is the perception issue.
Oh, yeah.
So what I have done is kind of built on what we've been doing with the Malsom River as our blue ribbon, and the fact that Sanford is not only the center of York County, but it's the actual center of New England geographically.
Oh, no kidding.
It's equidistant from here to the northern part of Maine as it is to the southern part of Connecticut. So we are the center. And furthermore, we need welcome signs, welcoming to Sanford, homeless apartments, things like that on there. So and this is a little bit different in that this is what I do all the time. And I will tell you that anybody who wants to get involved, let me know. We are always in the planning board looking for people with ideas. But keep one thing in mind. The ideas are relatively easy to come up with. They're no good if you don't have an implementation plan. So I challenge you, once you've come up with the ideas, to take a look at the community and figure out how we can implement them in this community. That's the real challenge, and we face that every day. It's difficult, there's not enough money, but the ideas are wonderful. We want them all the time, because sometimes the idea will generate the ability to do it. And I think this, if you folks can do anything, it's changed the perception of Sanford. We are better known in Washington than we are in Augusta.
It's true.
Both in our education program and in our government and in everything we do. We are better known there because we've done a better job in terms of programs like the Brownfields, the Nellie Mae. These are all federal level programs. And I think that's what we've done. So I don't want to get on the soapbox. but it is important to put another column up there, and that's how to do it.
Well, we won't be.
Not literally.
That would be a whole other meeting.
Oh, I know.
So,
Yeah.
mine is a picture of our schools, a very poorly drawn picture of our schools, but it's within one big circle, and there's a bridge between our schools and every aspect of our communities, our parents, our early childhood community, our business community, our parks and our recreation and our city hall. And there's a bridge and arrows going both directions, and it equals one because our schools and community are going to be completely integrated.
Excellent.
Yeah.
My marker was dying out, so my picture's not very good.
Blame the tools, blame the tools.
Mine shows the new high school, expanded mountain trail system, economic growth in the community, as well as the same theme, the no drugs.
Yeah.
It's a great
Beautiful.
picture. Very nice.
That's great.
It's pretty bingo.
It's more abstract. Abstract.
Andy, you do the sutures better.
I do much.
I don't want to hear you blaming the tool.
So I ditto everything everybody else said, except I stopped adding on to my drawing because I ran out of space. But basically, where all kids can be raised in healthy, happy, hope-oriented homes, enjoying the outdoors, and our beautiful natural resources like our lakes and our woods, and I have to always put a plug in for pets. Sorry.
The kids do too.
Yeah. I do actually stuff to the shelter, by the way.
Yes, excellent. And actually, they had their Joy Grant this year, and they had to choose the two, and AWS is one of them that will promote a 4th grade reading program and proper care of animals. So excited about that too.
Mine was a picture of buildings, surviving businesses, more jobs, and maintaining and expanding supports for families, children, schools, violence, drug, alcohol use.
Cool. There's great consensus. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the same thing. You guys are very well organized, by the way.
They practice.
Impressive.
Mine is, I shoot through a lot of homes and family, having a safe neighborhood, happy families, financial stability, the sun shining. Come on now. And just sort of living comfortably, happy. Say, yeah, right there. The sun is shining and all of that.
There was no snowman in here. Yeah.
My drawing is awesome.
Since most of the snow is melted, my street's actually back to 2 lanes now, and I'm very happy about that.
Mine was about bustling businesses.
Beautiful.
Trash cans, so there's no litter. And senior transportation.
Beautiful.
Picking people up at their homes. Yes, we have some types of transportation, but if people have trouble getting onto the bus, and if they have to walk downtown to catch the bus, it limits them, like to go to the shopping center, be social and do activities, so people stay home when, you know, I think that's an important issue. And I know refurbishing buildings is very expensive, so let's get rid of them if we can't fix them. You know, how long do they have to stand and people go in and homeless people live there, and it's a breeding ground for drugs and all kinds of activity that doesn't show Sanford in a positive light.
Second now.
One more.
Oh, boy.
She tried to disappear on us and we caught her.
Nicole's like, I gotta leave.
I got a very convenient time to go get that
I'm getting out of here so I don't have to do it.
I guess what Ben is the color for this outfit. The commentary.
Yeah.
I actually drew a mill building and was just talking about mill restoration, which I agree though. They're just going to say it is expensive to restore, but I see what's happening down with Mill 67 and Sundari and the brick house and the just the energy there and people that are coming in. It's really exciting. I'd love to see more of that in Sanford.
Yep.
What else did I draw on there? Oh, Parks and Rec. I think they do a great job with the trail system and just keeping the parks clean and really focusing on programs for youth. And I want to see more of that happening. What else did I put? Oh, increased jobs and opportunity, and then a decrease of homelessness, poverty, drugs, which hopefully the two go hand in hand with restoring mills and bringing in more business. Then we can help the people that live in our community.
We're going to come back to that. Yeah, go ahead.
So we did this same activity and came up with an idea on how to help our cloud ideas become reality.
Great.
Yep, just 1 second to plug it. Of course, right now, so it's gonna go black. Yeah, that looks good. 1 second.
I would just say, while they're getting that ready,
Yep.
if you guys, Madison and I went to the school board meeting last night to advocate for not having the JMG program cut to one specialist. It hasn't, I mean, I'm pretty sure they have their minds made up, but if you could all reach out to the school board members and the superintendent and let them know that, you know, we would really like to not see the program change and cut. That would be really helpful. If we had some push, maybe they may reconsider.
I think if they heard from enough people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the issue is that it's, because it's matched with federal dollars, it's actually a very, very low input from the Sanford budget.
Extremely low.
Enormous
impact that it will not only impact the students, but it will impact this community. They do so much community work here. It will be really hard on this community to lose this great asset.
So right now the program is from
7th through 12th grade.
So we'll be losing, you know, to end it as a freshman.
There's a lot of kids that that have been in JMG since 7th grade, that are in JMG in 10th, 11th grade, and when they heard about this, they were really, really upset, to be honest. JMG is their lifeline. It's the only reason they're still in school, and they'll tell you that.
I know kids that were in it, yeah, and it's true, it's what got them to go to school.
How many kids are in the program?
Right now, the high school has 84, and I usually have between 45 and 50.
Yeah.
This year, I'm down to 40 just because over Christmas break, 5 kids moved. But usually I'm between 45
They
and
want
50.
to go to a better community?
They always come back.
Yeah.
In fact, 2 have already come back, right? Kayla and Paige are back already. We have one of the highest move-in, move-out rates.
But as you can
Yeah.
see, a lot of kids are not going to be able to be in JMG next year because of this cut.
The majority, 2/3 of the kids that are getting JMG won't be in JMG next year. And there's a lot of, I won't go on to it for too long, but there's a lot of benefits to the juniors and seniors as well, as far as like scholarships that are offered to JMG students, tuition discounts to certain colleges. JMG has partnerships with colleges such as Thomas College, UNE, Thomas College actually has the first pilot program of a JMG college model where there's a specialist at the college and follows the kids through college as well. So now, if you go to Thomas, you can start JMG in 6th grade in South Portland, and if you end up at Thomas, continue it through your entire college career and have that support from.
And they offer, it's almost like a 50%
It's like a
off
50%
tuition
discount.
if you're a JMG student to go to Thomas College.
Because they know you'll make it through, they know you'll have decent grades because you have that support. So Thomas College wants JMG students there. And we also have partnerships with Pratt & Whitney and other employers too. They want JMG students, so they come to us first to get them. You know.
How much money are you talking about?
Usually it costs between $20,000 and $24,000 per specialist. But it's even, if you think about it, every kid that doesn't drop out is money. Yeah.
I'm
But
just
2020
going back to the
2020.
practicality in terms of the budget reduction.
Right.
What's
Well,
the dollar amount?
They're saving 25,000, I think, at the max.
At the max, but yeah. But then you save, the district saves money by having us too. So.
I understand that, but if you're going to go to a campaign to influence them, they're working off a bottom line.
Yep.
Where, is there another place that they could reduce with less dramatic impact?
Well, they added back the, not that I'm not an advocate for sports, because I love sports, but they did add back the Sanford Junior High soccer program at a tune of $10,000 back into the budget. A program that has been cut for quite some couple years now. They made that wiggle room to have the Sanford, the soccer program back. You know, I love sports. I played sports, but my child goes to school to get an education, and we have a really good, I feel like a good community that rallies around extracurricular sports in other ways where our school can't support them. And if I were to make cuts, that's where it would be firstly. So it just disheartened me to see it added back in. I know there's a purpose for it, but not at the expense of this program that is better utilizing our youth.
Another thing to take into consideration is the state's contribution towards education throughout the state and the degree to which that's been cut. Because I think lots of times school boards are put in a really hard position. And this is an awesome program. I've been working with JMG for 15 years, so I'm all about it. But another place to advocate is with our governor. Don't forget about that on the bigger picture. Maybe screaming at him. Sorry, I mean advocating.
The governor has given JMG increases in their state appropriation, but that's cuts to schools, so I don't know. But he's a huge supporter. He actually gave a personal donation of a few $100,000 to JMG as well.
Huh, well that's good.
Yeah, oh yeah, he loves, LePage is definitely a supporter of JMG, so if you go to him and say, you know, Sanford's thinking of cutting one, he would definitely be, I don't know what he would do, but he definitely would care anyway.
And JMG's pretty self-sufficient, right? You don't ask, you guys do a lot of fundraising.
Yep, all the trips that we go on except for one. In the JMG contract with the schools, they pay for one transportation cost, but I mean to leave, but this year I think that was like 300 something. Other than that, we pay for everything, and we've gone on what? 7 or 8 trips so far. Yeah, and these are all career exploration based trips or leadership development trips, so they're not like to fun time. They're, you know, but we pay for everything. So, yeah, but they have one. So when you said, you know, ways to implement it, they have an idea that they wanted to share with you guys and see if you wanted to be involved in, and I'll let them take it from here. But maybe not to implement some of those things, but to get resources out that we already have in Sanford, because we have over, I think I counted 85, or more than that probably, that I don't know about, nonprofits in the community and local community that people don't utilize sometimes. So that's one thing that we've identified as a way to improve some of the things we've talked about.
So the Sanford Strong Festival 2015 is going to happen Saturday, May 16th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at St. Thomas right by the hospital. An event organized by the Leadership Council at SGHS JMG, which is just the Leadership Council is basically student council for JMG. And this idea was put together by the lead trip in September
she can tell you what the word LEAD stands for.
Leadership Education Development Conference.
So that's an overnight that we have in September every year.
And the purpose of this, there's a stronger, healthier Sanford to promote physical, mental, and emotional health. Free lunch, free entry to allow access to all. We are inviting anyone who wants to provide education, resources, and support the healthier, stronger Sanford.
Cool.
Would any of you like to join us in helping with this?
Yes, I will.
I will.
I looked at him and I was just like, oh.